Hey guys, Dazzling Dave here. Today I'm in my backyard feeling that it's time to show you the video that I've been promising in some of my past videos, how to regenerate a spin top. I have to tell you just straight out, it's one of the hardest things I ever had to learn. I've become a yo-yo professional, a yo-yo master through years of hard work and practice, and I feel that learning how to regenerate was probably something I worked on the most. I'm wearing a GoPro today so that I can give you some of the cutaway scenes of how it looks from the player's perspective. So hopefully that helps you out a lot. Enjoy the video. Of course, if you're a spin top player, you know how to wind up the top, so I'm not going to worry about that. A couple things to note: you have to have a fixed tip top, or I guess a one-way bearing, to be able to do any regeneration, because the bearing causes the spin to go the other direction. It actually won't work with a bearing. So get a fixed tip top. You can use any size. I have found a smaller one tends to go a little faster in the processions. I like to find this one right here is one of my custom made 3-inch tops. I really like those for regenerating. You can start by a lasso catch straight to the top, but I'm going to show it the basic way, right here to the hand. So just a boomerang. When it gets on your hand, put the string on the right side of the top and kind of pop it off to the side. Now, I'm going to show you my very first one I ever learned right here. This is sewing machine. You'll notice that my right hand goes over the front of the top. I catch it on the string. Now, the time to pop it up, the top goes 1/4 of a turn after you do that. So I wait till it's pointing at my left foot, and then it's pointing at my right foot when it comes over, or almost over straight to the side. That makes this one, the sewing machine, a little bit easier to do. After doing the sewing machine, you can start doing something called the drum beat. Now that was slightly different, but what you'll notice is my right hand stays back close to my body, whereas my left hand goes out in front of the top. That keeps it to keep on regenerating. And finally, the last one I'll talk about today is roller coaster. And roller coaster is more like a sewing machine from the standpoint of you're catching over the top, but you have the top at a different angle. You'll notice the top is more sitting up. There we go. Sitting up when you're doing that one. Roller coaster was by far the hardest one for me to learn how to do. It was tough to keep that angle. You'll notice it pops a little bit less when you do it as well. Regeneration takes a lot of work, a lot of practice. I said that I learned how to do the sewing machine before drum beat, but a lot of people I've heard say they like the drum beat better. This is like anything with spin tops. I'll tell people, just practice, figure out which one's best for you, and try to learn all of them.
Okay, for this next part of the video, I wanted to voice over so that I could give you guys the fine points of when to pull and when to pop, and also do it in slow motion. So let's take a look. Alright, so here I am doing the trick sewing machine. As you can see, the top is processing around the tip because the tip is the fixed point on the string. As that tip comes back and points at my left foot or back at me, I will take my right hand and I will pop it up. And as I pop it up, the top does a full 1/4 turn. So you know where you'll be able to wrap your hand around with that string to catch the next sewing machine. As you catch, I let the top weight pull down on that string as I'm pulling up gently with my right hand. That is part of the regeneration. It actually adds some spin right there. And then the other time it adds a spin right here when I drop my right hand down. As soon as it's pointing back at me or at my left foot, I will pop up nice and firm, and that will add spin as well. So the 2 times to add spin is right when that top catches the string right here at the hand, and then the weight of the top falling down the string and you slightly lifting up with your right hand will add some spin. But then of course the main spin happens when you do the last minute yank with your right hand when you drop down right here, pointing back at the toe, and pop, just like that. And of course that same regeneration holds true for the trick doing drum beat. As you can see right here, I'm transitioning between sewing machine and I'm going to transition slow motion style into drum beat. It comes up, I switch my hand position so that my right hand comes back towards me and the left hand extends out. So I'm catching under the tip. A lot of people say this is easier than sewing machine because the positioning of your hands. This is also a great view for me to show you when the top actually does the regeneration. So right here with my right hand low, I pull up nice and firm, it pops up into the air. Now I'll get my string underneath, I'll catch it really close to my right hand, and I will try to keep the top almost in the exact same place, about waist height, as I lift my right hand up. That's causing spin right there. As it glides through my left hand, I stop the string when we get to the bottom. I then lower it down while lifting my left hand so the top doesn't hit the ground. And then, again, pop up firm. What that will do is that'll give you the maximum amount of spin time you can add with this is by using that right hand to slightly pull up and letting it slide through the left hand right there, trying to make it so the top doesn't just fall fast to the ground. You're actually creating spin as it goes down. Now obviously it drops out of view here from the front view, but from the top view you can see what the top does. It has that slow precession from the right side, the crown is going around to the left, and then you pop it up when it points back at your feet. Alright, and right here I'm going to transition into roller coaster. As you can see, it's the same grip on the string as you'd have for sewing machine. It's just you're changing the angle of the top. Instead of it pointing straight horizontally, you'll be starting to get it to point more vertically. It's a little harder for me to do this, but again, it's just a matter of having a little bit of a wider base on your hands when you pop up. You can see when you have that wider base, it kind of stands the top up a little bit more. And then you got to reach underneath, grab that tip with that right hand again, and you pull up with the right hand as the top drops to give it some of the spin. Switch your hand positions, make sure the top doesn't hit the ground, and then snap it up again with that right hand. The top will precess about that quarter of a turn when you do the pop-up, but because it's more of a vertical angle, it's harder to see that quarter turn, but that's what it does. Really hard to do, but a lot of fun. Hope you guys learned a little bit from this regeneration video. If you have any questions about my custom-made top, feel free to let me know, or any questions on how to do these tricks, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I would be glad to help you learn to do regeneration. And as always, please like and subscribe.